A good writer must also be a good reader. Hey, I think this is working. Just started. I wasn't sure if it was going live or not. Yeah. Anyway, hello. A good writer must also be a good reader. So, fellow writers, what are you reading these days, and how will it influence your writing, or what can you learn from it? It's Sam with another Friday video for you. And normally, when I ask you those opening questions, it's an introduction to my fiction book reviews because I've been reading at least one fiction book a month and then doing a review on it and trying to apply those lessons to your writing. I'm gonna keep doing that, and definitely, it's not going away. But this time, what I've been reading is a nonfiction book that is for writers. It's one that is to help writers with their craft. I have actually a couple books in this genre that I want to read that are for writers, but I'll tell you about those too. This one that I just finished recently is called Fight Right by Carla Hoch. You can see it here if you're watching the video. Um, it is how to write believable fight scenes. A friend recommended this to me. Actually, Kathy McCrum, who I've had on here before, she recommended this to me, and I went to the website and I was like, I need to read this book, and got it, and set it myself for months because that's how books work. But I read it recently, and it was really good. Um, I'm writing an action story. I'm writing a superhero story, and I think many of you are in the same boat as me. We're writing these action stories, but I, for one, am not much of a fighter in real life. I mean, I did a little bit of karate when I was little, like 20 years ago. So I mean, this is not about what little fighting history I may or may not have. Point is, I do not know much about believable fight scenes. Actually, I mean, even movies and stuff. I don't know how realistic those are. I mean, some of them are better than others, but I watch those. But I don't always pay attention to the exact fighting details. And a lot of you are in the same boat as me. You're writing a story. There may be action in it. You have characters who are trained fighters, or at least experienced, skilled fighters, and maybe you are a fighting expert yourself. I don't know, but a lot of writers probably aren't, and so we don't know how to write this believably necessarily. I know when I've been been reading portions of my book, and at least in previous drafts, I know there were things that could be improved on. Probably still are, but I would read it and because at my writers group and get feedback from everyone, and my wife, who is more knowledgeable than me on at least many topics, would say things like, "That's not how that injury would actually work," or like, "That's not what you should do to a wound to heal it." And I'm like, I don't know. I've never gotten an injury like this. I've never been in a fight like this. Especially against a superpower character, which my story is about. But even a even a regular fight. So this book helps you know a lot about the different styles and such there. Carla, who wrote it, is a trained fighter herself. I went to her bio in a little bit. Actually, well, hold that thought. I have a surprise note to not to the end, but I have been able to connect with her on social media a little bit and talk to her a little bit, which is cool. But I'll come back and I'll circle back to that at the end. But yeah, she's a trained fighter, and I know in at least Brazilian jiu-jitsu, maybe some other things too. Um, and so she knows about this, and like has done the research, firsthand by not just reading and stuff, but participating in fighting a lot. She has a section. I'll just tell you some of the areas she goes through. She writes about different fighting styles, like how your characters can fight, because um, karate, for example, is different than kickboxing, and I don't know much of the difference offhand. I know that there are different, but if you're not trained in that or whatever, then you may not know. She writes about fighting styles. She writes about characters' size and build and how that can affect them. She writes about weapons. She has a section on injuries and stuff like that. She has a section on, I guess, just practical tips for either avoiding fighting or getting in, or what you should do if you're in a fight. You could use this for real life self defense if you need to, but she's more so saying, here's what a character should do. Now, characters don't always act logically or rationally. You need to also think about what your character would do in a given situation, depending on their emotional state and whatnot. They may not always do what they should do. That's another story. And she has tips that apply specifically to writers. She's like, you need to consider you know, the outcome of the fight, the scenery, because that'll affect things. Consider who's in it and what you as a writer want to accomplish. Um, it's a lot of good stuff. It's been helpful for me, someone who's not educated in the realm of fighting that much. It's been helpful to have this as a resource. So the book was really good, and inexpensive too. It's not a huge book, so go buy it on Amazon. Support a fellow author who's helping to support us. If you can't buy it, she also has a blog, fightwrite.net. Go check it out at fightwrite.net. She has there's more content on the blog than she could fit in here. I haven't gone through and read all her posts yet. I mean, I probably won't read every single one, but there are a few that I saw and bookmarked because I wanted to come back to later. But she has some good stuff on the blog, so it's a good resource. It's made me want to go through my book and rewrite my fight scenes and like learn more about the characters' styles. She actually recommends like going to YouTube, watching some videos of fights. I mean, not of like fights like in a dark alley or something, but like fights, you know, in a gym that are when it's like professional, sporting fights and stuff, things like that. I did all that. I started to watch a few of them. I haven't been able to devote as much time as I'd like to. You know how that is, but I have watched a few and. I think it's really interesting, and now that he's described different fighting styles, I'm thinking through like what kind of fighting styles should this character have versus this character, based on what their background is and such like that. And yeah, it kind of makes me want to do more research and go more into that. Now, if you saw the update I posted earlier this week, I'm really trying to stop dragging my feet on my edits, because I know if I wait till it's perfect, if I am an absolute perfectionist, I know I'll drag this on and even more. I've been dragging it on a long time already, and I'm going to try to. I'm making it kind of my deadline for myself of April, like this April in a few months. That's like 2 months from now. I want to begin querying the publishers. Even when you're querying, I guess you can make a few changes, but you can try to avoid that a lot. So anyway, I might go through and try to change some of my fight scenes or improve them with some things I've learned. I don't want to spend a lot of time doing that. Maybe I should. Maybe to make it perfect, I need to. But I'm kind of debating. Like what I'm saying is, this book inspired me to learn more and improve my fight scenes for it. Now, I wish I'd read it 10 years ago. Um, before I did all these all these recent edits, and then I could be like, oh yeah, yeah. I read it kind of toward the end of my draft or the end of my writing editing process, but if I can, I still want to go back and change some of these things because I think it'll improve them a lot. So yeah, your fight scenes, like any part of your book, need to be realistic, and it's not just fight scenes. I mean, I guess it's part of it, but fights, injuries. You know, characters who know about weapons and stuff like that. I mean, those are in a lot of our books, and yeah, especially if you write sci-fi, fantasy, adventure, even horror. A lot of those things, and even other genres too, can include fights certainly. So a lot of those things, I think, could benefit from this book. So it's inspired me to improve my own writing. Hopefully this draft, and if not, then definitely in future drafts of other books. Hopefully I can benefit from this. But yeah, check it out. Fight Right by Carla Hoch. Book can find on Amazon or wherever you find books. Her website is fightwrite.net. So she's got a lot of cool stuff on there. Okay, and I told you I'd come back to an announcement and circle back. I told you I was able to connect with her on social media. Actually, she found me on Instagram before I even read the book, so that was kind of cool. I've chatted with Carla, and I've asked her to come on for an interview. So I think next month in March, probably around the middle of March, I'll post it later as we get closer. But next month in March, I'm going to have Carla Hoch, the author of Fight Right, on a video interview here on my page and then later on my podcast. So that's going to be cool. I'm looking forward to talking to her and hearing more of her wisdom and how that can apply to all of our writing. So check it out, Fight Right by Carla Hoch, and keep writing and keep doing your thing and do it excellently, which includes being realistic and knowing how your fight scenes work. Okay, have a great weekend, everyone. I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.